Okay, coming at you with another e-bike review. You guys know we do these on the channel. Lots to look at. You don't need to watch this video. Go check out another one if you're not into e-bikes. But if you're into e-bikes, you're in for another treat. Here we have an offering from HOVSCO, which, going off of my limited knowledge, I think it means like horseshoe or something like that. But here we go. HOVSCO. This is a pretty big box. So that usually means it's a pretty big bike. Pretty heavy. You can see here, it is the HOV Alpha Step Over. So we're gonna go ahead, take this thing out of the box, put it together real quick. You guys know the deal. And then we'll take it for a nice 10-mile cruise and see what it's all about. So let's get it going. Here it is, all put together. This is the HOVSCO Alpha, HOV Alpha. This is a nice looking bike. This is a big bike. First and foremost, I'll tell you, looks like, I'm gonna say not super short friendly. This is a tall man's bike or a tall girl's bike. And I like what I see though. Pretty high-end, everything, everywhere. Pretty cool. Thumb throttle on the left side. Carla's gonna love that. She's left-handed. I prefer on the right, but hey, it's just an e-bike, not a big deal. Nice screen right here. We'll get this thing cranked up here in a second. We've got to charge it up. Hydraulic brakes, always a huge plus. I love it. Suspension on the front. Looks like Forgo Zoom. Not too sure about that, but we'll see how it works. It's got adjustments and a lockout, typical hardware for suspension. Nice badge right on the front with a little horse. Kind of reminds me of the Ferrari shield a little bit. So that's kind of cool. Overall, really nice. I like the Shimano gear selector here. We got our fenders mounted up. Graphics are really nice on the bike. They don't look cheap. This bike does not look like a cheap bike. I think it's pretty high end as far as what I'm looking at frame wise, just the ergonomics, everything, the way it went together. So let's go ahead and charge it up and then we'll take it for a spin and see what this HOVSCO is all about. All right, here we are out here with the HOVSCO, and I love the way the bike looks. Really nice looking bike, and all high-end components, very nicely set. Everything works as it should as far as I can tell. We're gonna take it for a nice little ride now and see what kind of speeds we get and such. So let's go ahead. I've got it in pedal assist 5, but I'm just gonna use a thumb throttle first. We'll see how it does. So here's an acceleration test. Good acceleration. Really nice. Just like that, we're already at 20 miles an hour. And I did test this against GPS. It is accurate. So I'm holding the throttle. It's speed limited, I can feel it. Obviously they're trying to stay within that class 2 rating. But I can tell you, I'm not doing that with the throttle. It's actually oscillating. So I think they do need to work on the programming for the thumb throttle. That's kind of annoying. You can see it's going between 21 and 18, 19 miles an hour. So there's 21, then it backs all the way off and you can feel it slowing down until it gets back to 19, and then it brings power back in. So that's a pretty annoying thing. I think they need to fix that. It's a wonderful bike. You can't be letting that happen. It feels very stable. I don't feel like it's unstable at all. All right, I'm gonna try and use the pedal assist because I did unlock class 3, but you can't use the thumb throttle for that. You have to actually pedal it, and we should be able to go 25, 26 miles an hour, up to 28. So I'll pedal. It's a torque sensing pedal sensor, so you gotta pedal. There's 28, 29, and that's it. That's all she's got. I could feel it stop helping me at 28, 29. 29 was like the end. So if you feel like pedaling, it's kind of ghost pedaling when you get to that speed anyway, but like right now I'm really kind of pedaling strong here to, or fast I should say, to keep up with the 26 miles an hour. But if you don't pedal it, you see I got my thumb completely pinned, but if you don't pedal it, it'll slow back down to 20 miles an hour. Brakes are nice, good brakes. Nice brakes. Let's go into the preserve here. Cruise a little bit on this trail. Smooth, really smooth on this gravel trail here. So I'm pretty happy about that. Overall, it's a nice bike. We'll keep on cruising here and see if I can put, as you can see, we just put 2 miles on it. So we'll see how she does as we get closer to 10 miles or so. But so far, I like it. The tires are big. This is a big tire bike. It's a large frame. Everything about it is pretty heavy duty. And like I said, hydraulic brakes feel amazing. These are hands down the best brakes. You don't want mechanical brakes on a bike like this. You just don't. Acceleration is good. And they claim this bike can do upwards of 60 miles if you use the thumb. I don't know if I'd expect that, but we'll see what she does after 10 at least. See if it starts coming off that battery indicator. All right, I'll check back in with some more miles. So we are almost at 10 miles. We're at 9.3, 9.4, almost 10 miles. And the first bar on the battery indicator just went out. So I would say, judging by that, let's call it 9 miles. And there's 5 bars. Probably around 45 miles before you're on empty, close to it, which is pretty good. But I think I would be probably playing it safe. I would say probably 35 miles. That would be 35 to 40 miles is probably the realistic range on flat ground with this bike in thumb throttle mode only. If you're pedaling it, it'll probably go a little further depending on how much assist you use, clearly. But I think that their claim of 60 miles on throttle is not realistic, judging by the battery indicator. Sometimes those battery indicators come off a little bit differently than others, but the speedo is real accurate on this. The odometer is real accurate, and at 9 miles we're off 1 bar. So again, figure 35, 40 miles is a realistic all-out range before you have to start thinking about pedaling the rest of their way, which nobody wants to do. These bikes are heavy. On a smaller, lighter bike, yeah, whatever. But this bike has a big battery, has big tires, big equipment. It is a big bike, so you don't want to be pedaling this bike. At least you don't want to be relying completely on pedaling this bike. Pedal assist is fine. The torque sensing pedal assist is pretty decent. I do think though that the real issue is this oscillation on thumb throttle. It probably is costing some range as well, because it keeps having to accelerate to get back to that 20-mile-an-hour speed that it wants to be at. So HOVSCO, if they'll fix that, I think they'll have an absolutely wonderful bike. I'd love to have thumb throttle up to 25 or 26 miles per hour, but I understand needing to stay within the confines of the law so that we're not getting in trouble. Either way, it's pretty decent. So let's go back to the house and debrief. And here it is, all put together. This is the HOVSCO Alpha, HOV Alpha. This is a nice looking bike. This is a big bike. First and foremost, I'll tell you, looks like, I'm gonna say not super short friendly. This is a tall man's bike or a tall girl's bike. And I like what I see though. Pretty high end, everything, everywhere. Pretty cool. Thumb throttle on the left side. Carla's gonna love that. She's left-handed. I prefer on the right, but hey, it's just an e-bike, not a big deal. Nice screen right here. We'll get this thing cranked up here in a second. Got to charge it up. Hydraulic brakes, always a huge plus. I love it. Suspension on the front, looks like Forgo Zoom. Not too sure about that, but we'll see how it works. It's got adjustments and a lockout, typical hardware for suspension. Nice badge right on the front with a little horse. Kind of reminds me of the Ferrari shield a little bit. So that's kind of cool. Overall, really nice. I like the Shimano gear selector here. We got our fenders mounted up. Graphics are really nice on the bike. They don't look cheap. This bike does not look like a cheap bike. I think it's pretty high end as far as what I'm looking at frame wise, just the ergonomics, everything, the way it went together. So let's go ahead and charge it up, and then we'll take it for a spin and see what this HOVSCO is all about.